I'm gonna tell you something about that though, and I'm not even defending myself. Is I never, ever made a record saying, "All right, we're gonna sell this to young cats." I only made records for my peers. I didn't even want when they begged me to make. I didn't want my shit on radio. But I ain't playing that. Don't play it. Make a radio edit. You make a radio edit. You want to play it on the radio? You make the radio edit. My shit is for people that I like and people that know me. My stuff was never intended for the younger listener. And that's the wrong of today because you can't control that. Because then they say, okay, if we got to play it, then let's play it at night when everybody's in bed. All the little kids is in bed. I'll say, okay, all right, I'll do. I never liked doing radio. I only did maybe, I was so arrogant, or not arrogant, I was just so not about radio. When Jive Records asked me for a radio song, or for my record, Smoke Some Kill, what song did I give them? I gave them a song called Mr. Big Dick. And they put it on. It's okay, maybe the title, maybe we could, and you remember trying to play it. You used to call it Mr. Big Richard. And I remember that, and I remember the look on their faces, like, Mr. Big Dick, who do you think you are? we can't give this to a radio station. I said, that's my point. I don't want my stuff on radio. I want to be underground. I want to stay underground. These are the people, these are my people, these are the people that I'm trying to talk to. I ain't trying to get the kids, and I ain't trying to be all pop. You got Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, who I really love. Let me be me. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, if hardcore kind of like stayed there, I think it would be so much. It would be so much better today. It would be so much more political. It would be so much more about some kind of movement. But now that it's glitz and glamour, and I can see what you're saying, because I feel the same way some days. I'm like, what the hell did I do? You know what I mean? Like, what did I do? But then again, it had to be done. Somebody had to do it. It was going to do it, and it came from here. And some good things came. A lot of good things came out of it, not just bad things. I just think that people today they just kind of confused because they got like these, and don't lie, everybody, you put some shiny objects in front of your eyes, and all of a sudden people start dilating, start thinking about like all the stuff you can do with these monies and these jewels. You know what I'm saying? But all of us have a weak moment. You trying to say you're a god?
No, what I'm trying to say is not everybody does have that moment.
I'm saying you learn from that moment.
Based on where their upbringing is, based on what they've experienced in their life.
I can't believe that. That's probably.
Well, as you continue to grow, I think you'll find that out.
I'm not saying that I'm the same person. I'm just saying I learned from that. I'm saying I learned from that. At one point, I did get all flustered over like these jewels, but you can't do that to me now.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I can't.
So I'm just saying everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through that period where you're thinking about being jiggy and money, and you feel better about your shoes than paying your phone bill. Or, you know what I'm saying, you want to put a new system in your car instead of, buying your kids some Pampers. We all go through that. But what I'm saying, we come from that. What I'm trying to say is that these kids today, because it's pushed in front of them, they don't have a chance to make a choice. Because this is your choice. And that's what I'm saying, it's an industry now. Hip-hop is an industry.
Music is an industry.
Well, the music, hip-hop and rap is inside the music industry, but hip-hop is an industry now. It is.
Cool, if you got some other people that want to make some
Okay.
comments.
Yeah, can I say something? I was gonna say, when you look at the cultural trend of hip hop,
Right.
don't you think there was a political strategy of the recording industry to change the tone or the messages inherent within hip hop so that we have now like this?
No, I'm gonna tell you something.
I think so.
You think so? But I'm gonna tell you something. It's two answers to that. When I got into this business, a guy told me, he said, I'm gonna tell you something. Record companies don't like artists. They hate y'all. They hate you, hate you, hate you. You're a bunch of crying babies. You look at y'all. You want your cars and your gold and your diamond. We give that all to you, and then when you spend it all, you blame us. We hate you. Think about record business. They in the business of selling records. They just gotta have something to put on them records. Now, the day that it comes, that they can sell blank ass CDs and blank records without artists, it ain't gonna be no art. Artists are gonna be making their own records. Every artist gonna have to make their own record. So the record industry didn't have anything really. They sold whatever was sold.
I think that capitalism has always been
Well, I guess the second part to that. It's the second part to that. It's the second part to that answer.
So if it's not congruent with that, then
That's the second part to the answer. The part of the answer is that you are right because they try to do it to me. When I signed with the Jobs and the Capitals and the Sonys, they tried to change. I did this record and I wanted to do a video on it, and it said, "School, this record, this language in this record is so bad that we want to do a video with no lyrics." You understand what I'm saying? Capitol Records. This was 1993. Modern day. Then what? After all the NWAs and everything, it's like what? You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, it is a way that they want to twist and they want to change. But that's one thing that we do. One thing that's strong about music and hip hop and people, man. I don't care how much you grind it. What they want and what we want sometimes is so bad for us. It's gonna come right to the top. And it just came to the top because they didn't want, they wanted some cats come. They didn't even like us all up in their office all like this. You know what I mean? They didn't want to see that. They'd rather have like the R. Kellys and, nice, respectable citizens. They didn't want us. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want anything to do with us. So you're right and you're wrong. But once they said, man, this shit ain't going away,
Yeah, that's what I say.
that's when they jumped on it. That's when they said, fuck, it ain't going away. It's time for us to take over. And that's when they signed it, and that's when you walk into an office of an A&R cat, and he listens to your tape, and he says, but it doesn't sound like Redman enough. That's when it all started changing. So yeah, it is, yeah, of course. You can't even buy a box of Cheerios without, I get confused. If I have to buy the Honey Nut Cheerios or the regular Cheerios, what the hell did they say on TV? What's in my brain? What did they put in my brain? What should I have? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course they do. It's no mystery. Yeah.
Quick question. Two things. Real quick. Anybody in the music business? There's two books. There's a hit list.
Right.
Everything you need to know about the music business and more about the Chief.
Right.
And the third thing is, one, how did you come up with your name, Schoolie D, and who is your favorite hip hop artist?
School D was just like a thing. And so it was so simple. I said, you want to be a rapper, what's your name? Schoolie D. That's it. And they laughed at me. And ain't nobody, because that was an era of like the Ronnie D's and the Craig G's and the Jesse B's. And it was like, well, why don't you just use your real name and like an initial? Well, I don't want to use my real name and initial. I want to use Schoolie D. And I got laughed at. For years, I got laughed at. Like, Schoolie, that's no real name. Until I decided to make records, and then it became like a real name. So
what is D for?
nothing. I needed a last name. It couldn't be Schoolie. And it was like, people say, is your name Daryl or David or no D's in my name. It's just, it kind of like couldn't be Schoolie B because, this could be Schoolie C. I was like, okay, go ahead.
Basically, I just wanted to say real quick that the whole thing of this conversation is bothering me a little bit.
Right.
Is that it's real negative towards the hip hop of today.
Oh no, I'm not trying to be negative. That's one thing I wanted to do tonight was not be negative.
What I'm trying to say is excuse me. I mean, hip hop today is flourishing so much. I mean, I'm only 20 years old, so I wasn't around listening to hip hop until 10 when I was 10, 11, 12 years old.
Young MC
So,
and
you know what I'm saying? So what y'all talking about is, I understand it, I know it and all, but what I know and feel is the new shit, you know what I'm saying? And what was going on back in the day on the block is going on at shows, underground shows, where it's just everybody wilding out, having a good time. I mean, the hip hoppers of today, like Talib, the Mos Defs, Wu-Tang, I mean, they're all I think that they're more artists as far as lyrical styles, the variety and rhymes, the whole nine, rather than just sit back and be like, yeah, well, hip hop today, the whole radio thing, radio is garbage. And if you listen to hip hop, you don't listen to radio. So the radio shouldn't even be in the conversation in a lot of sense.
Except for some of us trying to play those good radios. Don't give up on us. Some of us are trying to play some Tally Wallies. We're trying to play some college. We are trying to get the roots on the radio. Some of us.
You know what though? I feel you because sometimes you go places and people want to talk and you want to say something and sometimes it just gets so negative because there's so much energy and so much. And the thing is, it's like your parents. And then me being a parent, and sometimes I gotta watch myself, I'll talk to them because it's just like you don't want to sound negative, but you want to be like, man, I want to tell you so bad that I did that, and you fucking up, and you should be looking for another level. It's like that. It's like me being one of the parents or one of the fathers of a genre right now, and I'm just like trying. It's so hard for me. I'm just trying to tell my kids that, man, you fucking up. That's all it is. It's because I love you. I'm like saying you fucking up on this part. That's the only reason. It's the love coming from me telling you, wake up. Wake up. And that's the strong feeling that I'm giving.
Just 1 second. School, actually the class ends at 9, but we can go as long as you want to go. How much longer you want to go?
So I get some water. I'm getting all scratchy. I've seen you around before. I've seen you around before. I know who you are, you agitator.
Did you address the brother right there in the red sweater?
He asked too many damn questions.
I came to this class to expand my view of hip hop.
Yeah, but she got to.
Right. What I know about hip hop is the culture. Like I'm with down with like Ill Advised and Jay Ski. Like Lady B when she was in the 12 o'clock old school mix, I was listening to it. I came here to like expand my knowledge of hip hop. So who's to say who's more hip hop than who?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? But like the vibe that I was getting earlier, it's changed since I've been here. But the vibe that I got earlier was like who's more hip hop than who? Like the music is becoming more diverse, and it is becoming it's bigger. I mean, like we got the most deaths in Talib Kweli's and all the underground.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want to see hip hop turn up like disco? In the beginning, there was some good disco. And listen to what I'm saying. In the beginning, it was some good disco. But by the end of the disco era, it was so fucking bad. Like it is. Excuse my language. It was so gosh darn bad that it sucked. And it was getting to that. And everybody had the same feeling that you had. It was just like, oh, disco's not really that. All of a sudden, it sucked and it was over. And I'm trying to keep hip hop from going to the disco.
Underground stays underground because it's underground.
But this is my whole thing. I love that the underground will live forever. And I will always be underground. But what my whole thing is, as a person, I want the underground to be on the radio.
Well, guys, as long as they're ghetto, somebody's going to be talking about it, somebody's going to want to experience it. As long as they're ghetto, it's going to be hip hop. But that's the music of the people.
If I can ruin my community or ruin a 500 17-year-old girls with Mystical, then I want to at least uplift another 17 with Common. I want the opportunity to do that. Well, no, we have to understand. I told y'all before, y'all not hearing me. I work in radio. I have worked in radio for 21 years. And you do not understand the power that we have over radio. Do you know what we get in trouble for the most at work? Is not taking requests. You know why? Because at the end of the darn week, all these little papers that we check off for Ja Rule, Jay-Z, DMX, whoever, they compile these requests, and that's what they judge their playlist on. So I'm telling all of y'all to go home today. In any of your spare time, you got portable phones in the crib now. While you frying your eggs, while you vacuuming, whatever it is that you're doing, gather your kids, tell them they can't get any tasty cakes until they at least call the station 5 times and request a positive hip hop song. Make it happen. Let's make a change. It's not. I'm real happy for brothers like that in the back row who like, don't diss my hip hop. I'm into some real hip hop. We know it's there, boo. We love that. We just want to replace some of the stuff that we're hearing that's so commercialized, that's out there, that's being blasted the way it is, with some more positive stuff that you're privy to. Because the sad part is that there's so many kids who don't even know the groups that you mentioned. And they should. Out of respect for Schoolie, out of respect for me, out of respect for, like Schoolie said, anybody that put their time in to get this music form on the map, to preserve it, to do it, to put our heart into it as artists. we want that respect. And that's what, I totally agree with Schoolie when he's saying that, you know, these new people that just in it for the money, you don't have any respect for them, and I can feel that because I've watched Schoolie, you know, I said last time I was in this class, my biggest problem is the people that don't keep it real. Now, me and Schoolie, God willing, will be friends until the day we die. Until we'll be 90, I'll be like, stop saying those bad words. I'm going to, you know what I mean? That's me, that's Schoolie. But at least Schoolie is real. And he is true to his craft. No, he's true to, just like he said, when Schoolie didn't have any money, Schoolie didn't go get a job somewhere else. Schoolie just stayed in the crib and kept on making beats and kept on rhyming. To let you know, he really believes in what he does. He believes in it as an art form. And it's his life. As opposed to some old ticket or some old vehicle, you know what I mean, to get a car or a platinum necklace, whatever these little materialistic things that we've got our society so strung out on. You know, that's the sad part. I want it to come back, and I don't want everybody to give up. I don't want everybody to say, well, you know, it's underground, and just leave it there. I want it above ground. I don't want it to stay underground. I want it up here.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Recently, an artist told my person that Colin Powell's son was just appointed to the FCC. So don't you think that has something to do with, you know, what's happening here in terms of the trend and?
I'm not sure, sis. I don't know. I wouldn't want to judge that. I don't know because I just think American politics is so crooked that I just said I'm not gonna try to keep it. It'll make me dizzy trying to figure out what they doing, why they doing it, whatever, because they are full of it to me. I just think this country was started with slaves and criminals, and it's still run by slaves and criminals. I'm not the one to ask that question. I really don't care. I just, you know, we're here, we're stuck here. Let's take the little rules and regulations they set before us and get the rest of the people get out of it and do what we gotta do, uplift the people and not get strung out on what they're doing or what decisions that they make. I mean, keep an eye on them because they are crooked.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, I ain't saying turn a blind side to them, but keep an eye on them, watch how they affect you. You know what I mean? But as far as trying to predict why or what I ain't got time.
Yeah, that's what my.
Because in my experience, I just been disappointed.
We
many
got
times, 'cause
questions.
I kept being wrong. I'm sorry.
How you doing?
Right.
I heard a question with regards to Colin Powell's son in FCC. I think that move is the same move that they going making with him as they did with his father. All before, when Colin Powell was just a regular general, and there was 5 other European Americans that were fully qualified for that position, but they put him in that position so he could be a fall guy for everything that goes wrong. That's the same thing that's going to happen with his son.
Oh, no, that's not it.
But his
I saw
politics are all
dude, he's appointed to the
consistent.
FCC, and
I'm not saying he's a bad person, but see, they're
I
going to
didn't say he
create
was a bad
situations.
person, but,
You had your opinion.
but that's not what he said. I saw him, he talked about his appointment to the FCC, and he basically said that the programs that he wants to implement are tantamount to turning back the hands of time as it relates to access of the airways and minorities. But that's not, but wait a minute, that's distinguishable from setting somebody up to be fall guy. It's different when they pick you and put you in a position and you adopt that position and pursue it on your own. So
I want to
that's
wait and see
totally
what
different.
happens, 'cause I don't trust.
I mean, that's, I mean, I said, I've heard that same thing. But when it went down with his father, with Renee and all these other things, because the other 4 white generals who were qualified for that position, not saying that Colin wasn't, and they appointed him that position, not to say that his son didn't want the position that he was given. When it comes down to it, when like, you know, people want to keep it underground and grassroots and some people want it to surface. Then when they start like with the article that Tim Wise wrote about the high school shootings and white America pointing fingers at, well, this doesn't happen here. And then they blaming rap and hip hop for these things. And then when they put Colin's son up in there, as he takes the realm and work for the improvement, they're going to start, like they did Jesse Jackson, planting seeds of destruction behind him. For every good thing he does,
Well, all that remains to be seen.
Can we before I leave?
All our questions to Lady B.
Can-
Before we get off, because we can get off the FCC and everything, it's supposed to be all about hip hop. That's a whole different.
I just want to say something before I leave. Can I say something before I leave? Excuse me. I want to say something. I am here. Another reason why I came is because I want cats, young cats who want to know about the culture, want to know about the artistry, want to know about the finances. Is that if you strive and you really believe in yourself, it's that I'm here to rejoice, to say that, you know, I didn't so-called sell out. I stuck to my guns. I said what I had to say, whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it. I did it because I loved it, and I'm able to take care of myself, my family, my friends. That is the positive side about hip hop. It was created for people who didn't want to go and be a manager at McDonald's, who wanted to be in music, but didn't really had something to say, but they couldn't sing like James Brown, but they got a voice. Somebody who loves drums, but maybe he physically can't play drums, but now you got drum pads where you can create drum patterns. Somebody who loves keyboards, somebody who loves bass, and they want to keep the culture going. That's why hip hop was created. It gave us a whole other industry. And we need honest, what I'm saying is we need honest people. We need honest lawyers. I mean, I'm sick and tired of like crooked lawyers. I know lawyers that say, yeah, I'm honest, but I'm gonna work over here. I'm like, but we need you. We need somebody to tell us what the deal is. Another thing, and we need honest accountants. You know what I'm saying? We all get, oh yeah, here's my money for my taxes. Never made it to the IRS, and you find out 5 years later when they come knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is positive. It created a culture. It created like, when I first started hip hop, I'm gonna tell you, there's only one white guy that I ever, for 5 years, that was into it, and that was Chris Schwartz. And that was Chris Schwartz. Everybody white in America was just like, it's a fad. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And then when I came back, when all those punk rockers loved me, I was like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, and the cat told me, it's just like, man, hip hop and rap is gonna do the same thing that rock and roll and funk. It brought music, it brought people together. America, we have a very strange relationship. Very strange. Black people, we so damn cool, we don't want to give it up because we know that shit can make us some money. If you black and you cool as shit, you got all kinds of movie contracts and record deals, you funny, you making some money because you cool, you don't want to get that up. You know what I'm saying? And your white guy said, yeah, well, I want the stuff that he got. I want to be in that culture. I want to be cool. I want to be hip. And all this time over here, we looking at you like, shit, I want to drive a Lex. You know what I'm saying? I want a big house. I want to, pay my bills. That's the relationship we got. We traded that off. We got some of your money, and y'all got some of our coolness. Even Steven, to some degree, you know what I'm saying? So that's just funny to me when I'm up here and I see 20 years later, and I go out to concerts, and it's a very strange, it's not strange, it's beautiful though. It's just like a lot of the young white cats who say, I don't even listen to it for 10, 15 years. And, that's all I'm just saying.
Right. Before the class is over, I don't want the sister to have wasted her time by coming out with me tonight. But this is my partner, Yvette Money.
Oh, you gonna front on me? You can give me.
And so you can catch her on the radio with me every Sunday, when we do the old school thing. And I really brought Yvette here tonight. I asked her to come here because we don't have time. Maybe Michael let us come back again. But I kind of wanted to talk to brothers and sisters about sexuality and
Cause she was nasty.
the commercialized. She was not nasty.
She was nasty.
And commercialized hip hop. And the point is, she was not nasty. Don't believe school. What I wanted to use Yvette as an example is to say that back in the day, just like I said, it's a natural thing to want to attract the opposite sex. That's in our blood, it's our nature. But there's a line. There's a line we as sisters can.
And she crossed it.
Did not cross it.
She crossed it a million
times.
We're tastefully sexy.
That's exactly sexy, I want to say. You can be sexy
We did not
and
take
not
our
be
clothes
slutty.
off or none
Wink,
of that
wink.
kind of
You know what I
stuff.
mean? And I really want sisters today in hip hop to get back to that because, you know, Yvette for me, you know, because I remember like when I rapped and stuff, I remember my mom saying, you know, with the jeans and my sneaks and my sweatshirts, she's like, you don't look like a little girl anymore. You know, you don't look feminine anymore. And I want to see you dress in some, some pants and a shirt, whatever. I'm like, well, mom, this is what hip hoppers wear. You know, this is how we dress. And I mean, honestly, and I remember the tracksuits and I started looking in the mirror like that. I kind of do look like Run DMC, you know what I mean? I really don't have my own, you know what I mean? There's really nothing feminine about the way I'm looking here. But when Yvette and them came out, like in that era, and the Salt and Peppers and stuff, you know what I mean? We were feminine, but we weren't Little Kim and we weren't Foxy Brown.
Right.
And I just kind of wanted to get, to say that, and I kind of wanted Yvette to help me, because I know she agrees with me now on how disappointed we are in sisters today, because, and really, brothers, I'm gonna say this in front of y'all, this is something usually I would say behind y'all back, but y'all are easy.
And I like being easy.
Y'all are easy to the point where if our main goal is to get your attention, then most of y'all we can get on a smile. Most of y'all we can get on a gentle word or conversation. We really don't have to give y'all all that. No, we don't. We don't because we are the queens. We are your mothers. We have nurtured y'all anyway. So y'all gonna come to us for various things. Trust me. As you're gonna go to your sisters, you're gonna go to your daughters for various things. That's just the way God created it. That's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about that. So no, I don't have to take off my clothes, and no, you do not have to see up the crack of my behind in order for me to attract you. Because I don't know about our listeners in this room right now, but I know that I have a lot more to offer brothers than that, and I know that I can get that attention. You know, just opening my mouth. I'm sure that we can do that, and me and Yvette are kind of like sick, and we make fun of the hoochie-ism in today's hip-hop, commercialized hip-hop. Every time I say that, you act like I don't know that this, in the commercialized hip-hop that you hear on the radio, not the underground sisters like Bahamadia, who we love. We're not speaking on her. We're speaking on, the Little Kims and the Foxes.
Well, it sounds like y'all got issues.
And the Dreamers.
Y'all don't have to do that. Y'all keep doing that. Y'all got issues, man.
All of us don't.
Yes.
What?
I wanted to comment on that too because when he said that it was coming off as a negative tone, hip hop today sort of is very negative. When on the radio people is talking about I'm selling this brick, and this girl is shaking her ass like she want to make a baby, and all that. And like you said, the disco is turning to like disco, and this is what people are thinking is hip hop. I mean, like everybody here is here because they want to know what real hip hop is, not what Power 99 is playing 15 times a day.
Ain't nobody in here like that.
Exactly. That's why.
That's because they say it's hip hop and R&B.
Exactly.
That's
the moniker.
Over.
That's the
starting
moniker.
to switch over
Exactly.
now.
That's why.
Pretty soon it's just gonna be R&B, and they're gonna fade out hip hop because they want your young black asses out of here.
What about smooth jazz?
Smooth jazz. Give me
There it is now.
throw a brick at this cat. Smooth,
Like,
big.
it goes back to
Don't be
what
back.
It goes back to what Leah is saying. They want the R. Kellys and them type of people in here. So if they can gradually change hip hop into R&B, then that's what they want to do. At first it was hip hop. Now, like you're saying, now it's hip hop and R&B. Next thing is going to be R&B.
Not if we save it though, because I mean, thanks to groups like Jill and Erica, I think we got a way of keeping the hip hop flavor, twisting it in with the R&B. We can try, but I agree with Yvette where they don't care anymore about this art form. You have to understand that. And like Schoolie also said, the record business is just what it is. I'm gonna address you 1 second, brother. It's just record business. And they don't care about it as an art. And really more so don't care about the people that are listening to it. Could give a darn about you. And as long as we keep on being stupid and being blinged out, and they know that we'll run to the nearest Tower record store to buy the next blinged out Hoochie record, they're just gonna keep on feeding it to us because that's all they want. You know, the bottom line is the money. I told y'all last time, CBS and Sony, MCA, the rest of them don't care about 16-year-old pregnant girls with herpes in North Philly. It is not their major concern. But they are 75% responsible for them.
But everybody needs an evil brother. You know what I'm
We
saying?
got you, Schoolie, okay?
They just want what's selling right there, they don't care.
I wanted to say that, I think it's gonna, like, come full circle.
I hope so.
And I have a 20-year-old son, and at one time, I didn't wanna listen to what he listened to. And I have another son who's incarcerated, took a 20-year-old son to see my other son. All they talked about was what was on the radio when it was playing. They didn't talk about family or friends or nothing, so hip-hop has actually brought me closer to my sons, because there's no gap now.
Right.
You might be listening to Jay-Z, but at least we can talk about King and talk and quality.
Right.
So now I'm worried about what hip-hop moment is she gonna have, you know? So me and my sons can be late, I don't care what they listen to, but they know what I like. So hip-hop will bring me closer to my sons, no gap.
That's cool.
They can listen to Ram Squad, I can do Parents One, or Most Def.
But the whole thing is, as long as they're listening to the Ram Squad and everything else, you as a mother, this is my advice. And
Right.
since I grew up kind of being your little sister, I know you're going to do this. You're going to hit them with some reality so that they're
Right.
not influenced
Right.
by what they hear. See, because in the meantime, in the interim, until I can get this underground totally above,
Right.
we have to keep it real with our children.
That's right.
Because they're going to listen to it anyway. I had the biggest argument with Bill Cosby once. My first time meeting him, I was so excited. Oh my God, it's the Jello Man. I mean, the Jello Man. Oh my God, this is Bill Cosby, you know what I mean? I was so excited. And I was sitting in the back of the limo with him and Mary Mason. And, you know, Mary introduced me as the rap girl. You know, Bill, this is my little rap girl. You know, she's got the hottest show on our station right now. And I'm like, you know, I'm nervous. Nice to meet you, Mr. Cosby. I don't like that music. And I remember my feelings were so hurt. I was like, and then he said the most asinine thing. He said, I don't allow my children to listen to hip hop music.
No.
So that's when I came from being nervous and everything. I said, listen, Mr. Cosby. Hold up. With all due respect, sir, Mr. Jello Man, I know that you're right here with me in this limo right now. If you think your children are somewhere listening to Run DMC, you're highly mistaken. Just like your parents didn't want to hear your rock and roll when they was listening to some jazz, it's the same thing all over again. You know what I mean? So forget that. I don't think that your kids, I can tell my nieces and nephews right now, don't bring that junk in my house. Don't play it on my stereo. Don't bring it in my room or whatever. You take that around the corner of your house. Your mother just do that's on her. I don't want to hear that mess. I told Mike, I can pull up in the driveway and hear the music in the house go vroom. Because I know they're going to cut it off. They have cut it off. So I know that they're still listening to us. I know I can't stop them. My point is you cannot stop your kids. There's some little kid that's going to have a Walkman in school, is going to bring a Jay-Z tape to school. They're going to be rocking it in the playground somewhere, somehow. What's out there is going to get to them. So you as a parent, big sister, mentor, whatever role that you play in a younger person's life, have to give them the real. You have to let them know that for real, you know what I mean, DMX is just some fool talking trash, you know what I mean, on the record. And so-and-so and Little Kim or whatever, she's just a sellout. She just let some record company tell her, we'll sell more CDs if you take your clothes off. Okay. You know what I mean? You have to let them know what's real. Because they're going to get a taste of it.
You can't just jump
They're going to get a taste of it. You can't. It's everywhere.
My daughter's 8 years old, and like when Little Kim stuff is on there, I can't just turn it off, because she could be somewhere else watching it, and I want her to understand what's going on. So now when it comes on, she's like, oh, Mom, she stank. I say, yeah, she stank. Because I want her to know that's not what's working. I want her to look at it as being negative. Because she heard when it came on, I had to say something negative to know that that's negative. So one time when I was watching, I said, oh my God, this girl is really stank. She looks horrible. So now she say that. But I want her, she's going to mock her parents, and she's going to mock who she look looking up to, she's looking up to.
Right.
So if I'm looking at this person negative, she's gonna look at that person negative. So I said it on purpose, just so she can hear me say that this girl looks stink and that she's not supposed to be doing that, she's not supposed to be taking off her clothes, and, you know, she, like she said, she's selling out. I just said all kind of bad things about her. So my daughter knows what stank is, and your child knows what stank is. They say it in school, and you know, whatever. You can't just just say like, where did you get that from? Now, if they mention something, then you just have to change it around and like teach them like what exactly it is. You can't hide nothing from. You got to know what it is that they're seeing or whatever.
Yeah, the
So
question
I
for
just
like,
I explain everything to her because she needs to be street smart as well as book smart nowadays.
hey, can we get the questions and the answers down to like 30 seconds?
From your travels experience, both of you.
Right.
What magazines did you find that they don't publish or distribute too much? And you just went, whoa, I wish this could really be out nationwide, or any particular articles caught your mind that you remember?
Oh, various ones, but then, I mean, I
My
tried to start
travel?
the first hip hop magazine once, and I tried to keep it real, and that's when I found out about the magazine business in America. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was, and you couldn't get, distribution, and you couldn't get, big time publishers behind you. It was no different than a record deal, and in order to get the deal that I wanted to get, I had to put certain things in the magazine that I didn't want the magazine to be about, so I let it go. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my opinion of it, fully.
Through my travels?
Yeah.
I think I had time to read a magazine, dude. It was like you wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, after partying all night, you get on your bus, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you didn't even have time to eat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been so many places. I've been around the world maybe 10 times. I do not know where the hell I was at. I swear to God. People tell me, remember you was there? No. I don't remember I was there. But it was a good time. It was like now, what I do now is I do write down like where I was in the hotel because I want to make it back to that motherfucker. Because a lot of times in countries where English is the second language. But what I want to do right now is I do want to respect my craft like a little bit more, and I know that like my father and my uncle, the only way they got to these countries is if they was fighting a war. Right. And I felt very privileged to be in those places now. I feel very privileged. So what I do now is I take a card from the hotel, I take a brochure from the hotel, I write down, who talked to me, where, so when I go back and I do, and what restaurant I was at, if it was good, I always take a card. I have like thousands of cards. Thousands of them. So now, because I got to respect that. So when I look back, I'm like, yeah, now I know, because I'm older, you know what I'm saying? Now I know I'm not that mature. Yeah, no. Oh, as immature. You try, what? What you trying to say? No, so it's like, as far as like my travels now, it's like, I think it's one magazine, it's called Gear Magazine. I kind of like Gear Magazine because I can go through it and I can read like anything. Yeah. Yeah.
On the Street magazine, ever heard that?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the one I've been reading like for the past like couple of months, but.
We got about 5 minutes
But
before.
wait,
5 minutes.
These two brothers right here, you got so tired of having your hand up, you just put it down. What did you want to say?
Anyway, just like, I was basically.
All that time you had shit to say? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I am sorry. No, I ain't want to say nothing. I just want to give a shout out.
I just want to ask Cooley what he think about, a lot of times I look on radio and I see a lot of, I look at TV and you see a lot of pioneers that started the game. They be up there, to me, it's like selling out, They don't want to give their true opinion what they think of hip hop today.
Because it's still very dangerous to be a rapper or a hip hop artist and tell the truth. It's still very, right, it's still very dangerous.
See, that's why I can speak the truth, because I ain't no artist.
And to speak the truth, and because that's what I love about like the Funketeers and the Jazz Masters. Most of those guys will say like, yeah, I was listening to this cat, and I was like, damn, that's like a cool hip thing. And I went home and I studied him, and then I threw this in, and that's how I came up with my style. A lot, you know, but you know, a lot. You do that today, and people say that you a punk, you weak, you ain't representing your side. You know, whether you from the west or from the east, or you dig what I'm saying? And people still worry about that because they figure like my fans, my audience. If I say I dug Schoolie D and I'm from Houston, then my people from Houston might not think. You know what I'm saying? They get like, so it's kind of still dangerous to be very honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now. Like, I know when I heard, like, the Live Convention 81, Melly Mel rapping the way I wanted to rap, that inspired me to do the stuff that I do. You know what I'm saying? That was the joint forever, and it still is. And that was my inspiration. So it's kind of dangerous. So when I look at these cats, because when I see them, yo, School, this my man, he helped me. I'm like, well, why don't you say that? Like, I seen you on MTV doing the interview.
You ain't say nothing about it.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't say nothing about it. You stood up and said, I did it.
We don't.
I did it myself. So it's still kind of like people get afraid to be very honest. But I'm gonna be as like honest, you know, as I can. And I think I made like a slant towards like the West Coast earlier, and you know, we do that. I was just joking around because they buy so many of my records. It's like they help me be who I am. They help pay my bills. So you can't do that. You know, as joking, you can do that. But when it comes down to the real, if you're an artist and somebody helping you pay your bills, whether they from the East Coast or the West Coast, or they white, they black, they live in Argentina, you got to respect that because I get to continue my creativity. And I get to stand here and tell jokes, and I hope you get something from it, like some good vibes, some serious vibes, or maybe some negative vibes. I mean, I always want to leave a place where people either love me or they hated what I said, and that's the kind of music, and that's what I always wanted to do. If you just hated my record, I know I did something good because there's somebody over there that just loves it. If you're just like, it's okay. It's whatever. You know I didn't invoke any kind of emotion. I didn't teach anything. So. Well, you stop with new hip hop. We was new. Think about it. We was new hip hop at one time.
Why they don't like give them their props? What gives the pioneers their props is because I believe that it's the sellout thing, and I think like a lot of the new hip hop think that old hip hop is so corny. And I get that. They're scared to say that they respect it because the new hip hoppers don't respect it, and they think they're selling out by saying that they do. So I think I just think that's my.
Not all of them.
They think it's corny.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. I'm gonna tell you a story. No, I'm gonna tell you a story. On Biggie's last album before he died, he did like a 2-minute remake of one of my songs, PSK. And when he called my publishing company, and they said, since you took the music, you sampled it, you took the words, and you changed it around for 2 minutes, you still gonna have to pay for that song as it was a 5-minute song, a whole song. You know what he said? He said, I don't care. I respect Schoolie D so much that, just the style that he used, that kids like her age were just like, oh yeah, you know that's the guy that Biggie and he gave me he pulled back.
Take our music and don't even give us credit for even taking it.
He never said anything about Schoolie D on it.
Yeah, but
because he don't want them to know he got that from old school.
You can't mistake songs like that.
Yeah, but the new kids never heard it. Yes, you can.
No, some new kids knew it.
That your song even existed. Like,
Some new kids do.
It was like Schoolie D, because
Some
I
new
sang the
kids
original
do.
song.
Exactly.
And they told me I was singing it wrong.
Oh, so they was running them kids was using
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's why they're scared to get
But I'm talking. But we talk. Hold on. Not the. First of all, now we on the kids. I'm talking about like the new. I'm just saying some of the new hip hop do give back. Like the Roots, they always sing some of my songs. They do some of my songs. They sample me. I'm just talking about this is how I gave back to Boosie. I respected Boosie. I sampled Boosie, so Boosie got some money from Schoolie D. And that was my respect. I didn't have to call Boosie up. Now I can. But I did.
Everything out there. I'm not.
I'm just talking about just Puffy. I'm just saying that.
But I'm just saying they won't give the old school credit for it. They won't give us.
And some of them. I'm not saying all. I'm saying not all of them.
They won't say I got this whole.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. They
They probably think that they got it from old school. That's my whole point. They'll use it, they'll sample it, they'll remix it, they'll sing the whole thing over. But the new school now that's listening to new hip hop don't even know where that song came from. That's my point. And if they just say that if he gave you credit, even on his record, he did the whole thing over. If Biggie said he got that from School D, then maybe the new school will respect the old school.
I can't say that. I mean, if a guy was using,
Why couldn't he say
no, what I'm just trying to say, if a guy was using a riff from Coltrane, everybody, and that's how strong the community was. Everybody knew that he took that riff from Coltrane. He didn't put on his record, I took that riff from Coltrane, baby. Everybody knew. That's what I'm saying. So that was his homage.
Back on the CD for the people who were not jazz enthusiasts, somebody should have let that be known. Just out of respect.
But that was that was the whole twist of it, and that's what we was talking about
And
earlier about.
twist is crooked. That's crooked.
No, that's what I'm talking about, like digging in the crates.
Anything that's twisted is wrong.
No, it ain't. You gotta twist the nut in the bolt, the whole stuff together.
New schoolers need to respect old schoolers. You need to respect the people who fought to get this music out there, to get it on there. Y'all need to do that. Just like I respect my elders and people that have paved the way for me to do different things that I do in life. Simple as that.
They're going to lock the building.
They're gonna lock the building. We gotta get out of
Before
here.
you leave, can we get some final comments from Yvette and from Lady B and from School D? Just some final comments.
Well, I basically said everything that I
Summed it
wanted
all
to
up
say.
too. Always
Just
respect.
1 second, can we hear from Lady B and School D before they leave?
This is special that y'all gave me some time to tell some. I had those jokes ready to tell for my new stand-up comedy act down now. Don't let the thing is that, and the one thing I learned is that listen to me, but don't listen to me. Yeah, and if a smart mug will know that. Listen to me, but don't listen to me. All right? And that's what I got to say. And that's how I survived. I listened to those cats, but I did not listen to them because every era changes, and you can't do what you did back in '85. You got to take what I did in '85 and twist it around and use it for now. So listen to me, but don't listen to me.
All right, and all I have to say is let's bring some of the more positive underground hip hop above ground. Riot, circuit, give it to your kids, give it to your grandma.
Everybody run to the door.
Before you leave, we have one quick announcement. In about a week or two, we're going to have KR. We're not, but KR is one. Dead Prez and a few other people going to be here. Before you leave, please, we have an announcement to us here. Just give me
Just 1 second, everybody finish
This is so real.
You know, Tito, let me tell you something. Getting out of hand, all right? I'm about tired of you up in everybody's face. Always filming everything. Mess around with you, gotta keep your hair done. You gotta keep the boogies out your nose. I'm tired of you.
No songs. It's like I'm in the car, I drive. Those songs come on the radio.
Okay. And you
No, she's both. Second report shot. Second report shot.
Mine was your regret.
Oh shit, you must do.
Exactly. You regret what you said. I'm hearing that.
Your family didn't grow up with second report shot.
That was on Slice Record. That was
Put
here.
the second report shot.
That
Your
was
family
like my
didn't grow up
biggest.
with second
That was my biggest.
Well, you better hope nobody gonna put your fucking crowns at your face.
Yes. Yes. Slice Record.
Never. You didn't grow up. I'm doing something at Shampoo once a month starting at 8. Shampoo once a month starting at 8. Well, you can see, I got you can email me, and I got
Everything is all new.
You know, and everybody, that's not
I give more respect to the older Crips because they actually go in there and get on the 808 drum machine, kick down a beat, you know what I mean? Scratch something, you know what I'm saying? Like you got It's Time and Captain Rock and all of them guys have to come up with their own beats, you know what I'm saying? They keep that stuff fly like that. Here, you know what I mean? I can jump in and go get a loop or something like that and just put my stuff down, you know what I'm saying? And play.
Okay.
Go ahead. I got a pen we're always. Yeah. All of last
right here. I like the horn here and just a little break up the background.
Try to act like he wasn't nasty.
That's real. That's the realness right there. The shopping bag. You know it's the realness when it's got the brown bag inside the plastic joint.
You know it's real, but I'm like looking at it, make sure you got the right bag.
My bag has juice in it.
And then she got Ziploc bags in there with shrimps, and then she
Damn.
got another Ziploc bag with the cotton.
Why y'all know all that shit? I don't even know what's in my bag.
It's a dinner, man. Compliments to you. You know they filming us while we do all this stuff, because it's like, you know, years from now, it's going to be some documentary we talking about bags and food and...
Yeah, it's gonna be a documentary. Kind of act like you ain't wasn't nasty.
do y'all know that they were lots of people being here filming all night? If y'all
I know.
From right to left.
Okay.
I don't know what Elliot Money used to know.
Right to left.
Right to left introductions.
Yvette Nasty Money.
Am I right? You starting with me? Or her?
Oh, I'm Yvette Money.
I'm Schooly Dig.
Yeah, I don't know either one.
And we are the Aqua Teens.
So the question is, where were you the first time you heard your record played on the radio?
I think I was in my room. I was in my room. The radio,
Cleaning.
and I had a couple friends here, and it was like, it took me a second to know that was me. I was like, it was like, that's you. I'm like, it sure is. That's me.
That calm.
And that's it.
What was the name of the record?
Yvette's Revenge.
How
And
did
then
it
it was your regret. It was just like the Dear Yvette. But it was Lord, it was the same way, your regret. What you said, just like how Dear Yvette. But it was the same way.
School.
I was I was walking home from the dry cleaners, and I was like, this car was just like kind of parked at the red light, and I'm just like, damn, that's me and shit. So I just started running home, and hoping I could, for whatever reason, I didn't want to hear my home stereo. 3 blocks from my key, I dry cleaned and opened up the door, and I caught like the last 10 seconds, but that was like the happiest time in my life. I will never, ever, ever, I'm never gonna forget that, never. This is like Maniac. Yeah.
Who played Maniac?
WDAS.
Did they play first? Yeah, they played my record first.
What was?
Oh, you're asking me what? All right. First time I heard my record, I was in the car with my sister, actually. And I only heard the last couple seconds, like what happened in school. I didn't hear the whole thing, so that's really not the first time I heard my entire record. But the first time I heard a little piece of myself was like the tail end of when we were coming out of Acme on City 9 Avenue, and it was just a little piece of it. But then, the next day, while I was upstairs, and we had the stereo on in the crib, we had on WDAS, and Perry Johnson, the mighty, what was his name, the good doctor, he played it. And I heard it in its entirety, and my sister, screamed upstairs, your record's on. I remember coming downstairs, and me and my mom, my sister, and I was just freaking out, like, oh my God, that is me on the radio. I was hyped! That was it.
Did it get any better?
Couldn't get any better than that. It hasn't. Sex hasn't been better as good as
What got me hyped was back then, during the time when my record was played, it was a thing called Make It or Break It.
And you
that's
made
when
it,
they
girl.
played it.
Yeah,
that's what got me hyped. Because during the
A lot of what I talk about, what film is and how it's used to perpetuate white supremacy and the persistence of whiteness. We have this thing that's going on now that makes this society continue, and that's called the illusion of inclusion.
We never speak of those that came before us as great. Never speak of them as dead. Absolutely. You don't hear Christians saying the late Jesus. Muslims don't say the late Muhammad, do they?
No, not at all.
Okay, you don't speak of our greats as being dead. They're supposed to live on through us, right or wrong. But what happened? Oh, y'all didn't get that. What happened?